Hi, I'm Robert Osborne. Up next on our night of silent film comedies, we have another film from Charlie Chaplin, one that many consider to be his best, and I must say I'm part of that group. The movie is City Lights, a film from 1931, and although it was released 2 years after what was basically the death of silent films, this movie is just that. It's silent with no dialogue. And when it came out in 1931, instead of being considered old-fashioned and out of step with the times, it became one of the most popular films of that year. As with most of his films, Charlie produced it, wrote it, directed it, financed it, also stars in it. And the payoff is that he also got to keep all the money it made. He again plays his famous character, the little tramp, this time a fellow who befriends and falls in love with a young blind girl. She, of course, unable to see that this woebegone character who's so kind to her and hopelessly in love with her is a poor, penniless tramp with ragged clothes and wearing dilapidated shoes. And as you very likely know, Charlie Chaplin was unique in the way he planned and meticulously filmed his movies. He would often develop a story of a film as he went along, not knowing when he started filming a project where the story would go or how it would end. He was also such a perfectionist, he would often do 20 or 30 takes of a particular scene till he felt it was exactly what he wanted. And he could afford to do that because he was his own boss. He himself financed his films, so it was his own money he was spending. He didn't have to work on anybody else's time schedule either. And while to others it often seemed that he was wasting money and his time, the infinite care he took is why so many of his films turned out so well, and why they endure and still entertain us all these years later. Something to keep an eye out for in this movie is a young Jean Harlow in a nightclub sequence. When Chaplin shot the scene Harlow's in, she was an unknown, doing bit parts in Hollywood to scrape by, but it took Chaplin so long to finish and release this film that by the time the film opened in theaters, Harlow made the 1930 film Hell's Angels and had become a huge star. So here from 1931, Charlie Chaplin and a new leading lady, the future Mrs. Cary Grant, Virginia Cherrill, as a blind girl. Here's City Lights.